How are you enjoying the tale of Despero? Does little Despero, the tiny little mouse with the huge ears, does he have your heart yet? Do you feel sorry for him? I don't know. There's some things about him that are very likable, and obviously he's the main character and he's meant to be likable. But I think through this book we're going to learn and watch or observe how Despero matures, how he realizes what's important, what's not important. And let's read chapter 4. All right, you follow along, or you can read out loud with me. Despero's brothers and sisters soon abandoned the thankless task of trying to educate him in the ways of being a mouse. And so Despero was free. He spent his days as he wanted. He wandered through the rooms of the castle, staring dreamily at the light streaming in through the stained glass windows. He went to the library and he read over and over again the story of the fair maiden and the knight who had rescued her. And he discovered finally the source of that honey sweet sound. What do you think that sweet sound is? Remember, his brother was like, honey is something you taste. It's not something that you hear, but this was honey, sweet sound. The sound was music. The sound was King Philip playing his guitar and singing to his daughter, the Princess P, every night before she fell asleep. Hidden in a hole in the wall of the princess's bedroom, the mouse listened with all his heart. The sound of the king's music made Despero's soul grow large and light inside of him. Oh, he said, it sounds like heaven. It smells like honey. He stuck his left ear out of the hole in the wall, which we know is a big ear, so he's taking a chance on getting noticed, right? He stuck his left ear out of the hole in the wall so that he could hear the music better. And then he stuck his right ear out so that he could hear better still. And it wasn't too long before one of his paws followed his head, and then another paw, and then without any real planning on Despero's part, the whole hymn was on display, all in an effort to get closer to the music. Oh, can you imagine what might happen? So here's Daddy. He's playing his guitar and singing to his daughter at night. The mouse hears it. He sneaks out. He hears. And without even realizing it, that music's drawing him, and he's going right out into the open. Remember how he doesn't care about anything or any nibbling or scurrying or anything that has to do about being a mouse. All right? Let me read that last sentence. Wasn't too long before one of his paws followed his head, and then another paw, and then, without any real planning on Despero's part, the whole of him was on display, all in an effort to get closer to the music. Now, while Despero did not indulge in many of the normal behaviors of mice, he did adhere to one of the most basic and elemental of all mice rules. There's a mice rule. Did you know that? The mice rule says, do not ever, under any circumstances, reveal yourself to humans. But the music, it made him lose his head and act again the few small mouse instincts he was in possession of, and because of this, he revealed himself, and in no time at all, he was spied by the sharp-eyed Princess P. Oh, Papa, she said, look, a mouse. The king stopped singing. He squinted. The king was nearsighted. That is, anything that was not right in front of him, his eyes was very difficult for him to see. Where? There, said Princess P, and she pointed. That, my dear P, is a bug, not a mouse. It is much too small to be a mouse. No, no, it's a mouse. A bug, said the king, who liked to be right. A mouse, said the pea, who knew that she was right. As for Despero, he was beginning to realize that he had made a very grave error. He trembled, he shook, he sneezed, and he considered fainting. He's frightened, said P. Look, he's so afraid that he's shaking. I think he was listening to the music. Play some more, Papa. A king play music for a bug? King Philip wrinkled his forehead. Is that proper, do you think? Wouldn't that make this into some kind of topsy-turvy, wrong-headed world if a king played music for a bug? Papa, I told you he's a mouse. Please? Oh, well. If it will make you happy, I, the king, will play music for a bug. A mouse, corrected the pea. The king adjusted his heavy gold crown, and he cleared his throat, and he strummed his guitar and started to sing a song about stardust. The song was as sweet and light, shining through the stained glass windows, and as captivating as the story in a book. Despero forgot all of his fear. He only wanted to hear the music. He crept closer, and then closer still, reader. He was sitting right at the foot of the king. Mouse, do you have a death wish? Why? Why wouldn't you run back in the hole? Why? I mean, the king thinks you're a bug. Big deal. We're going to find out a little bit more. All right, that was chapter 4. I need you to turn into your book, your notebook that we have on the Tale of Despero. And I'd love for you to be able to look at it. Let's discuss it. I want it to be in your words. I want complete sentences and very neat handwriting. Do you hear me, John Mark? Do you hear me, Zane? Neat handwriting. All right. So what we need is we need to look at this. It says predicting, meaning like if you predict the future, you're going to try to figure out what might happen, what might come to be. It says, after meeting the princess, Despero finds himself sitting at the foot of the king. Predict what you think will happen. All right. So they have two things here where you can write a couple sentences as to what you predict, and then they want you to draw that prediction. And it can just be the mouse at a foot, however you want to do that. But what do you think might happen? So the king seems very stately, very kingly, right? He's got his crown on and he's like, I'm never wrong. That's a bug. And little Princess P, being a daughter, which all us daughters know how to kind of manipulate a situation, is telling you that, hey, it's a mouse. Dad, it's a mouse. You're wrong, but hey, just keep playing, please. And he's like, all right, if it makes you happy, then I will do that. All right, guess who wants to join us? Say hello. Say hello, Biscuit. Oh, life's tough as a dog in this house, let me tell you. I would love to have her life, I think. Maybe. Although, could I be a dog that drives? That would be better. All right, I predict. Princess P, just in what little bit we read, seems to have empathy. She sees the little mouse and she's like, oh, but he's scared. He's shaking. He must just love the music. So Daddy, play some more music. And Dad's like, whatever, if I can make you happy, I will do it. That's what daddies do, right? So what do you think's going to happen next? He's playing the music. And there goes Despero with the death wish. Instead of going back in the hole and listening to the music, he's walking closer and closer to it until he is literally, ooh, bless you, Biscuit, until he's literally right at the foot of the king. Well, now, if that mouse is that close to that king, do you think that king's going to realize it's not a bug? Yeah. So I want you to start. It has written there, I predict. You're going to finish that statement with what you think may happen to Despero. 2, 3 good sentences. I predict that the king, Philip, will squash Despero by mistake or on purpose. I predict that the mouse or that Despero will start dancing and everyone in the room will dance. It's whatever you predict, okay? And if you've read on, then you just have to play along, okay? If you've read past chapter 4, which I bet you half of you have, or I know there's a couple of you in there that's probably halfway done with the book, which is fine with me. You can just keep reading it over and try to think back as to what you thought happened at that point, all right? And you'll make that little drawing. And that's all we'll do for reading today. Love you guys. This book is so much fun. And when we get back to the classroom, I have this on DVD, and we're going to have us a popcorn pajama day movie. How's that sound? Yeah? No, Biscuit will not come. No, she will eat the popcorn and use the bathroom in my classroom. Not happening. Love y'all.